So, hi everyone! Welcome back to my 7th video. Yes, I know it's been a while, and it's only by God's grace and goodness that I'm here in front of you speaking. But it is His message. It's not about me, it's about Him. So let's get started. For today's video, we're going to talk about the certainty of God's promises. What God has promises, yes, and it's all written here in His Bible, which is His love letter for each one of us. So, paano naging tayo?
What?
I mean, no, not what you're thinking. I mean, paano naging para sa atin yung promises niya? As we believe in Him, He has given us the right to be His sons and daughters. And every promises here in His Bible, in the Bible, belongs to His children. Which means, kasama ko doon, ikaw, lahat tayo na naniniwala sa Kanya. So what is the Lord telling about the certainty of His promises? Let's open our Bible in Numbers 23 verse 19. It says in here that God is not like a man who lie. He is not a human who changes his mind. Whatever He promises, He does. He speaks, and it is done. This verse assures us the characteristic of God that as He promises, He will surely fulfill it. I know some people failed you when He promised to you. Like, nag-pinky swear pa kayo. Maybe family, friends, or your loved ones. But God is telling us that He is different from those people who hurt you by not fulfilling His promises. He says in His Word that whatever He promises, He does. Pagkatapos ng lahat ng mga pangako, na bigong pangako sa'yo, there comes to the point that you stop believing na. You stop believing in those promises. But God is assuring you that He will keep His promises to you even you stop believing, even in the midst of doubt and fear, and even your confidence in the Lord, or even to yourself, that He will surely fulfill His promises to you as God. He will still keep His promises to you. The second truth about this one is waiting is part of the process in order to obtain God's promises. You see, God tells us in Psalms 27:14 that, "Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord." Joseph waited 13 years before the fulfillment of his prophetic promises. Abraham waited for Isaac 25 years. Moses suffered in the wilderness for 40 years. And Jesus waited for 30 years before his commission in his public ministry. It's not about how long you have waited. It's what you are doing while you are waiting. For example, Jesus, right? When He was young, He was studying. He was preparing Himself in the fulfillment of God's promises. See, that's what we have to do. You have to take this season of waiting, a preparation for God's promises. You're waiting for this, right? You're waiting for these promises. But are you ready to withhold that promises? Are you ready to take responsibility with that promises that is given you? The third truth about this one is hope is rising. I think many of us are excited to end 2018, right? Because gusto ko na talaga matapos yung 2018 because of the things that we have experienced from that year. But that year prepare us for what in store us here in 2019. And with that said, I believe that each one of us have this kind of hope for 2019. And God is telling us right now that taste and see that the Lord is good. Anchor your hope into His promises. Instead of waiting in agony, in frustration for the things that you cannot control, why not trust in Him? God tells us that His promises should be encouragement for each one of us. It says in Hebrews 6 verses 18, part of 18 and 19, says in here that now His promises should greatly encourage us to take hold of the hope that is right in front of us. And He says in here that this hope is like a firm and steady anchor for our soul. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God who promises these people is still the same until today. His promises, or His working, the fulfillment of His promises doesn't stop after you read Revelation. No, it's still continuing. It's still present. He is still present until today and until tomorrow, until the end of time. Like, that absolute truth that we have to hold on to. 2019 is the year to claim God's promises. You will see Him working miracles after miracles upon your life. I've heard people testify, they're crying for the answered prayer, for the answered promises from God. And this time, I want to share to you one of His many promises that He has given me. And it's years in the making. Maybe I'm still not graduated when I received these promises, specific promise. And at first, I'm confident. Yes, I'm confident because God tells that He will do this, and I'm believing in Him. But I have to admit it to you guys that the process is not easy. Hindi madali lahat. Kasi dumating yung time na nag-doubt ako. Nag-doubt ako sa sarili ko. Nag-doubt ako sa mga plano niya sa buhay ko. Nag-doubt ako sa promise niya sa akin. But He just proves me. And those years na akala ko wala lang, those are the preparation years for what He has in store for me. So I want to encourage you by this video that you have to trust in Him. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Thank you for tuning in for today's video. Stay